Hello there, I'm the student and this is another video on my channel, and today I wanted to show you another very interesting, new and unique game mechanic that was added in 1.35 Domination DLC. And this has to do with an Ottoman start, apparently, as you can see on the screen right now, and with the Janissaries. And the Janissaries have a unique disaster in 1.35, which is the Janissaries independence. And that let you create a Janissary state that has a unique government type, that has the unique ability of recruiting Janissaries, and that is completely independent from the Ottoman Empire from day one of their release. To get to that state, you only need to get the Janissaries to 100% influence and their loyalty to below 50%. And then the disaster starts ticking, and that is actually what I'm preparing right now in the background, as you can see. And everything else and what is so OP and at this strategy you're going to see in this video. Now, as you saw, the progress right now ticked up to 99.5%, which means that in the next month, on March 1452, there will be a Janissary independence. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you now. So yeah, let's just see what happens on the next month, because I think this is really interesting. There we go. And first of all, pretty nice picture over here, obviously from the mod that I've linked in the description. But anyways, you see that I could either go for just get decadence and let them declare independence, or I could say the future lies with them, which means that I am going to overtake that nation. And in this situation, actually, I would recommend you not to release any nations, which is the reason for that is because you can see the Janissaries are going to declare independence in 7 provinces. And this number of provinces is going to decrease if you have less provinces. But obviously you could do stuff like, for example, giving this province back to some nations, which I can't right now apparently, because Byzantium is at war. Now I found a way, as you can see, to sell this province so that the Ottoman AI, after I overtake the provinces, can't walk over, from to the other provinces. But first of all, obviously, I'm going to just break the alliances with the nations I have alliances, so that it gets a little bit easier. And of course I'm going to delete these troops, so to make it even easier. Last time they spawned over here in those provinces, which is the reason why I think I'm going to def those provinces now real quick. But yeah, new try again. Okay, at least this province is mine now, so the others are a little bit wasted. And now comes the best part of all. Obviously, my nation name is after that province that my capital is in, randomized. But also, as you can see, my flag is randomized, and it seems that it is always a white background with a random symbol on that. This is why I have right now the Sikh symbol from the Sikh religion on my flag, even though it doesn't fit at all. But whatever. It is what it is. And I also obviously start with a randomized ruler. And I start with randomized ideas. As they are random, they can be extremely strong or pretty bad. So let's just see what I've got right now. If you want to see how exactly that goes with the randomized idea set over here, then just have a look on my video for the Dimmy Breakaway Nation, which is the same. They get custom ideas as well. I also did a list on what is possible and what are the most important and interesting ideas that you can get with that. So yeah, have a look on that if you're interested in those ideas. Anyways, in this case I've got fort maintenance, leader without upkeep, pretty bad. Land force limit 30% as an ambition, which is pretty nice actually. 1 tolerance of true faith, 15% diplomatic annexation cost reduction, not bad. 30% institution embracement cost is like whatever. Plus 20% governing capacity modifier, really unique one that you can basically only get through forming the HRE, I think. Minus 30% construction time. I think the maximum that you could get is like 40%. Either way, construction time is not really interesting at all. Cost would be nice though. Minus 15% regiment costs, also quite nice, and plus 1 missionary strength. This idea set is pretty trash. I've seen way better. For example, the last time I tested, I've got 20% morale in my starting traditions. The question is, why is this nation so much stronger and nicer to play than the Dimmy Breakaway Nation that I already did a video on? There are actually 3 reasons for that. Number 1 would be obviously I don't have the Janissaries estate anymore, which is also one of the reasons, but I want to say that it is way easier to get the disaster because you can get them to 100% influence immediately and get the loyalty down extremely easy. So it is way easier to get them breakaway than the Dimmy Nation. And as you can see, the estates that you start with is 100% crown land. And the thing is that normally to get 100% crown land, you would have to play as a released nation. Obviously, I'm going to lose a little bit of that if I let 1 month pass, but still, I'm going to have like 90% crown land, right? But in this case, I am not a released vassal. I am completely independent. As you can see, I'm not a vassal of the Ottoman Empire. So I won't lose stability. I can declare wars right away. I don't even have a truce with the Ottoman Empire, while they actually have a 5-year truce with me. So that is extremely powerful, and you can see those extremely nice modifiers of that high crown land, right? I mean, reform progress plus 100% from in 1450. That's something that only republics would get, right? You could actually decide also which religion you want to be via like giving away provinces in the Anatolia region, so that you can only get provinces in the Balkans. Then you would be Orthodox, obviously. So you can do that as well. But the most important thing why this is way stronger is this government reform. And this government reform is a unique government type that you can only get if you are a Janissaries breakaway nation. And obviously, as a Turkish nation, you would also be able to choose to become a beylik, which is extremely powerful for core creation costs, costs to fabricate claims, and so on. But if you have a look on the Janissaries government type, then you notice first of all rulers become generals. You can't do anything about it. In my case, he's actually pretty good as well. That is a little downside, but anyways, there is 15% national manpower modifier, which is a really rare modifier to get from the tier 1 government reform, and you get also 15% land force limit on top of that, as well as 100% more army tradition from battles, which is actually an underrated modifier in my opinion. But most importantly, it means that you can recruit Janissaries. As you can see, I can recruit Janissaries now. There we go. There I have the casual, normal Janissaries. But this is obviously way stronger, because this way you can recruit Janissaries as a non-endgame tag. You can see I can form the Sultanate of Rum, for example, but if I wouldn't be Turkish primary culture, I could obviously culture switch to Greek and form Byzantium, and then have Janissary regiments as Byzantium. So what I wanted to say is, normally there are only two ways to get Janissaries. Number one is playing as the Ottomans, and number two is playing as Rum. And both of those nations are endgame tags, which means you can form no other tags except like Rome. While as in my case, as you can see, I can now immediately go into the Ottomans, which have a zero amount of soldiers, extremely low amount of land, and no allies. So it is extremely easy for me to expand and become big. But I am not a endgame tag. I could, for example, form England and get the English missions while using Janissaries. And this is, in my opinion, a pretty strong way to play the game. And yeah, I'm just going to Alt F4 and reload the game again to see if I can get a few better ideas. And yeah, maybe I'm going to show you a few interesting ones. But anyways, we're going to see when I'm done with that. And I'm going to say how this campaign will continue. Oh man, this one is a very big candidate, a very good candidate for playing along with him. As you can see, I've got traditions that have cavalry combat ability plus 10% and discipline plus 10% in my national ideas, which is an idea that you cannot get in any other way in the normal game of EU4. And keep in mind that this is a normal game. If I do cash or something, Ironman mode, and I can get every single of these achievements, as you can see. And obviously, as usual, most of them that you can also get are not listed over there. But yeah, that is, oh man, this is really strong. And then as an ambition, -1 unrest, kind of lame. 5% infantry combat ability, okay, it couldn't be 10, had to be 5. 30% cavalry to infantry ratio, so apparently it would be a cavalry game. 10% fort defense, manpower in primary culture provinces plus 25%. So maybe some culture conversion stuff as well. Mercenary cost minus 2.5%. Plus 1 tolerance of the true faith and minus 5% advisor cost. So, yeah, to be real, this 10% discipline is insane. But the other ideas are not that great. I'm going to reroll that, but I mean, you see what you can possibly get with that, right? But this is my third try to get some nice ideas. I'm going to try another one Okay, so now we've got manpower in primary culture provinces plus 50%, which is actually kind of insane if you think about that. So yeah, but anyways, the other ideas are kind of shit, so we are going to see when I get another one.
5 minutes later.
Another nice one over here, we've got minus 20% construction cost modifier. And with that minus 20% in this ideas, you could like easily stack those modifiers down to like minus 70-80%, which means that you would basically pay 20 or 30 ducats for a marketplace or a church, basically.
1 eternity later.
Okay, finally, man. This is it. This is the nation I'm going to play with those ideas. Let me just present you the ideas. I can say they are economical and not militarily right now. Otherwise, I would have taken the 10% discipline, of course. But yeah, I want to play a little bit around with trading companies and so on. But we're going to get to that. But as you can see right now, there is minus 10% construction costs and fort maintenance, and as the tradition, plus 100% prestige from land battles as an ambition, minus 10% step cost, plus 40% governing capacity, and this governing capacity is globally, which means that I start as a kingdom, as you can see, which means if you think that 40% comes on top of that, it will be like 160 points more governing capacity. So insane how strong this modifier is. Plus 2 tolerance of the true faith, really nice for unrest. This is basically unrest if you convert all the provinces. Minus 10% land maintenance, really helpful also with the Janissaries. Minus 1% prestige decay. Minus 15% recruitment time, and plus 15% production efficiency. Also pretty rare. I had like 20% in one more thing that I rolled, but like 50% is good enough. So that is what I'm going to start with, and I'm starting with a Ramazanoglu, apparently, like the same dynasty as Ramazan has, with 20 years old, which is calm, minus 10% step cost, just minus 2 national unrest, and malevolent, which is 5% liberty desire and subjects, but this is like basically nothing, right? And also the flag is it is kind of weird to see, but it's obviously the flag of like Qing, China, I think. So yeah, quite interesting. Maybe we can do something with that later on. Now there is obviously the big question on what should I do with this game, because I definitely want to use that game situation in which I'm in right now to fight the Ottomans and go on, and I can basically go on into every direction that you can possibly imagine. And in this campaign I'm going to actually do what you are suggesting me to do, and for that I'm going to do a community question in which I'll ask you what to play and what my goals should be. I'm going to make 4 different possibilities that you can then vote for which one of those you like the best. So I'm going to have the link down in the description right now. So click on and in the pinned comment as well probably. So click on the link, show me what I should do with this game, and as always we are going to see in the next video.